In the silent darkness of space, the battle seemed over. Earth hangs below, a serene blue marble, totally unaware of the war that just raged in its orbit. For a moment, it's quiet. Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds, is actually staggering. Combined punch from Superman and the Hulk has him reeling, cosmic fire bleeding from his ancient armor. Holding his position in the vacuum, lets himself feel a sliver of hope. He glances at the Hulk, a green monster held aloft by his own impossible rage, and thinks maybe, just maybe, they've won. But then, a low chuckle echoes in the void, a sound that feels older than the stars. The light in Galactus's eyes flares, no longer a glow, but a blazing inferno of pure power. Insects, his voice booms, not with rage, but with the cold, bored finality of a god. A tsunami of raw energy erupts from him, swatting both heroes out of the sky and sending them tumbling back toward the very world they just saved. It was a team-up born from desperation. It's two titans from different worlds, standing together against a living god. They thought they'd fought him to a standstill, only to realize they were just fighting his shadow. Now, as gravity claws them back into the upper atmosphere, they get it. This isn't a battle of strength. It's an execution. Galactus raises a hand, and the moon seems to shudder. He's not just a threat anymore. He's a sentient apocalypse. The world will make a fine meal, he declares. But first, I'll erase its protectors from existence. Dark tendrils of energy, faster than light, lash out. They snare Superman and Hulk, dragging them back into the cold, unforgiving vacuum where their strength means nothing against his cosmic mastery. Trapped and helpless, Superman looks at Hulk, a warrior whose rage literally propelled him into space, a being he'd once foolishly underestimated. He remembers telling the brute he couldn't fly, that he'd handle Galactus alone. Now, their only hope for survival is that same impossible rage. A silent, grim understanding passes between them. Plan failed. Time for something new? With a defiant roar, Superman breaks free. Not with strength, but by vibrating his very molecules into a frantic hum. He becomes a red-danned blue blur, a gnat buzzing around a giant's head, peppering Galactus with pinpoint blasts of heat vision. He's a distraction, buying them seconds that feel like an eternity. And it's the opening Hulk needs. With no leverage, the Green Goliath does the unthinkable. He claps his hands, not to attack, but to propel himself with a thunderous shockwave that ripples through space itself. He becomes a living cannonball of pure, undiluted fury. He smashes into Galactus's chest plate, right where their first attack landed. This time, the cosmic armor doesn't just smoke. It cracks. The sound is a deafening fracture in the face of divinity. Enraged, Galactus swats Superman aside and grabs the Hulk, his massive fingers closing around him. He begins to absorb the raw gamma radiation that fuels the beast, planning to turn Hulk's own power against him. Recovering, Superman sees his partner fading and makes a choice. With a desperate cry, he flies headfirst into Galactus's helmet, a battering ram of pure hope, forcing the Devourer to release his grip. This is their chance. Battered but not broken, the two heroes unleash everything they have left. Superman pours his remaining solar reserves into one continuous, focused beam of heat, aimed directly at the crack in the armor. At the same time, Hulk, burning with a rage that could shatter worlds, unleashes a storm of blows on that same weakened point. The universe screams as flesh and energy meet god metal. Catastrophic explosion of light erupts, and for the first time, Galactus cries out in genuine pain. His colossal form flickers, destabilizing like a dying star, and then silence. His body drifts, inert and quiet, exhausted. Hulk begins his long fall back to Earth, a green meteor who just saved the world. Superman watches him go, but a cold dread creeps in. That was too easy. The silence feels wrong. Galactus's body doesn't fall. It simply hangs there, defeated. But the victory is short-lived. A new light appears in the distance, a silver streak cutting through the cosmos. It stops before them, a gleaming figure balanced on a silver board, his eyes holding the cold, dead light of distant galaxies. It's the Silver Surfer, herald to Galactus. He looks down upon the two exhausted champions, a being of chilling indifference. He raises a hand, his voice calm and clear. "You have earned my master's attention. The battle is over. The war has just begun." The Avengers and Justice League are scattered, leaving Earth's last line of defense broken and facing not just Galactus, but his herald. How can they possibly win this war alone?